Welcome to the Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
All right, it's 11:02. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lock Shop. Thank you very much for being here. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, I tell you, please just tell your friends about what we're doing here and how easy it is to listen to us every single day, static-free since 23. We had the winner from Kind of Easy Trivia today. Already popped by, rolls in, midsummer, Oilers jersey, beauty. And he's like, yeah, my buddy told you about these guys. I started listening. I was just like, awesome. Like, that's not even a carryover from the 1260 days. So tell your friends. It helps for sure. And then when they pop on here, I say Edmonton Sports Talk. Thank you very much for joining us. Edmonton Sports Talk is presented to you by Play Alberta. Download the app today. Of course, you can play on the just a desktop as well. And there's a ton of different stuff that you can get over at Play Alberta. No shortage of things to discuss with our crew at Play Alberta. It's a little light right now, the old EST specials page, because it is the slowest week on the sports calendar. But that doesn't mean you can't be ready for when things pick up again. Of course, we'll have. I'm not on Lock Shop or the noon hockey shows the rest of the week. I'm doing the morning show tomorrow, and then I'm off to Montreal and Vancouver for CFL action this weekend. So I'm going to give you my picks for the Open Championship today, and we'll see if Huss wants to dive into that as well. I think it'll probably be Maddie or Glue Guy on Lock Shop the rest of the week. Alberta, it's time to play your way. Play Alberta is the only app that brings you casino games, which are popular around here, sports betting and lottery, and better yet, all proceeds go back to the province to support valuable programs and services. Download the only app that's Alberta made and Alberta played today with our partners at Play Alberta, and use the code EST Sports. Deposit $20, get a $50 free bet. EST Casino, deposit 20, get 50. And if for some reason you're new or you've been kind of hesitant, what you're going to want to do is use the code YAG50. $5 deposit, $50 free bet. YAG50. DGen Den was cooking yesterday. Shout out to the big dumper. He was the favorite, but he ended up getting it done. It's that type of season for Raleigh. He's been absolutely sensational so far. Got his old man pitching to him. I think he beamed him at one point. Huss will join us from Winnipeg Sports Talk coming up in just a few moments. Here's what we've got today. The early bird bet. If you want to go heavy on the All-Star game, I guess you can. But I'm on the under 7.5 ALNL, the All-Star game, minus 139. And the grandest parlay still sits over there. PSV to win the Eredivisie. I have no idea what the DGen Den is cooking up here. But PSV to win the Eredivisie, Leinster to win the United Rugby Championship, OKC over 62.5 regular season wins. I really like that. And then Piastri to win the F1 Drivers' Championship. That's sitting right now on our EST Specials page at plus 765. I almost read that handle on YouTube. I'll just say this. Dixon on YouTube says, I'm going heavy betting against the Elks forever. Probably not a bad call. I do want to get to a conversation here that I saw pop up on Rod Paterson's Twitter account. Who is the most famous Canadian TV duo of all time? Ron and Don, Bob and Doug McKenzie, Jay and Dan, or of course, Casey and Finnegan from Mr. Dressup. Casey and Finnegan in third right now, 17.9%. Jay and Dan in their glory years, 9.2%. Bob and Doug McKenzie's at 34%. Ron McLean and Don Cherry at 38.6%. And I know that like the fallout continues. I'm not even fully up to speed what's happening, but I thought it was a pretty fun question. Let's bring in Huss today from Winnipeg Sports Talk here on the Lock Shop, brought to you by Play Alberta. Huss, what's up, my man?
Give me those results again.
38.6% say Ron and Don. 34.3% are on Bob and Doug McKenzie. 17.9% Casey and Finnegan. And 9.2% Jay and Dan.
Huh. I would have thought that would have been like Ron and Don, like 60%.
Yeah, I went more of a runaway.
Yeah. I mean, Bob and Doug McKenzie, obviously iconic, but more kind of comedy characters, movies, those sort of things. Was it Casey and Finnegan?
Casey and Finnegan, I mean, they had the treehouse right there on Mr. Dressup. I thought Jay and Dan might be a little bit higher than just 9.2%. But, I mean, does their legacy takes the blow because of the trip down south? You think?
Well, and the fact that they came back and then whacked O'Toole.
Yeah.
And it just became Jay doing whatever.
How high would they be if they didn't go to the States and were still together? How high do you think they'd be?
I don't think the States thing changes things at all if they still came back and continued doing it. Like, I mean.
But I guess what I'm saying is they were gone for, how long were they gone for?
I don't know, maybe 4 years.
Yeah. So that would be another 4 years on Canadian television. And then they'd be like on a 20-year run right now. Right? Yeah. Like.
If that, well, here's an interesting question, I guess. Or like, I wonder who they were. Who was this poll of?
This was from Rod Peterson. They just threw it on the Rod Peterson show.
Okay. So way older audience.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if you asked people under 25 this question, they would say, who's Casey and Finnegan? Who are Bob and Doug McKenzie? They would probably know Don Cherry, but they might not really be familiar with Ron and Don.
Not the heyday of Ron and Don, yeah.
Oh, not even close. And I mean, even Jay and Dan, like they might have been 12 or something when those guys left. So, I mean, I guess if you're asking people, like everything, those questions are going to be really heavily influenced by the demographic and particularly the age of the people that are answering it. But to me, I mean, if you're in between 40 and 60, I mean, I don't know how Ron and Don isn't, the automatic answer. But
I love this one in the chat says, does Jay's time doing breakfast television in Winnipeg help him or hurt him?
Probably helps him.
How long was he in Winnipeg for?
He was here for a good couple of years for sure.
Yeah.
Sort of at the start. That was like at that weird time when I think it was called A Channel. And there was like an A channel in most of the cities.
Yeah, we had an A channel here back in the day.
This is so wild. I mean, if you think back to rewinding, like when we were younger, just kind of getting into this business, how different everything is today. Like how many industries have changed more than media in the last just the last decade, never mind 2 decades. But I mean, like with everything, the internet changed it all. But yeah, Jay was he's a funny, lanky, funny dude doing things in the morning. Needless to say, my schedule does not make me a regular breakfast television viewer. But he was out. He got out a little bit. It was fun to see him here. And then obviously you got the gig at TSN, and he's still managing to do his thing there.
He's still a tall, lanky, funny guy.
What's the latest with O'Toole? I know he was doing something.
He was doing wasn't he doing boomsies on, he's doing like a podcast or I don't know.
Really popular guy. He had a big following. I mean,
he did. I was always a little bit more of a Dan guy or Jay guy than a Dan guy, but I thought Dan was the perfect guy to roll with Jay. You know what I mean? Like, I thought they were so good together.
Yeah, both really talented. And listen, Onraid, I don't want to take anything away from what he's doing now, but when you have a guy that's part of a duo that is so beloved, and then you just whack one of them and make the other guy go solo, that's a tough ask. For all parties involved moving forward. I felt really bad for Dan on that. I mean, listen, you know what they say about the media business. You haven't really been in the business until you've been whacked for the first time. And I guess for us, we were both, I mean, I don't think I know of any other ones from you. For us, like the fact that we lasted as long as we did.
Yeah.
Until they had to take out the entire station.
Literally had to kill the station to let us go.
You know what? That's almost my, when you think about career achievements, that's
right to the end.
Right up there.
Right to the end. I think that has to be a big one. Jen over on the chat on YouTube says Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod.
Oh,
they should be on. Be fit and have fun.
Hal and Joanne. And again, this would be the same demo. Like, I don't know if there's many 20-year-olds that know what body break is, but
I'm going to say probably not.
They were absolutely everywhere. I mean, you could not escape Hal and Joanne. And I mean, and they're a legit couple, aren't they? Like they're married and stuff?
Great question. Let's look it up.
I'm pretty sure they are. Let us know in the chat otherwise, but I think that was so that might even help them more be, I would say, kind of more prominent. I mean, it almost takes that partnership up to another level.
Let's see here. Are they married? As a couple, they met in the gym and started to date. They married in 1999. And after living for a time in Mississauga, the couple has lived in Oakville since 2000. So there we go. They are married.
Mark Amp said, you're obviously talking about Jay. He was in Sexiest Man in Winnipeg movie?
Come on. Nobody made...
Mark, we need more details in the chat.
Please tell me there's a movie that was made in Winnipeg called The Sexiest Man in Winnipeg.
Well, the funny thing is, one guy that did win the Sexiest Man in Winnipeg was Steve Vogelsang. Does that name ring a bell at all to you?
I mean, no, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I just thought maybe this story would have gotten outside of the prairie. So Steve Vogelsang was so CTV's local affiliate was CKY, I guess.
Okay.
And through the late 90s, early 2000s, or maybe through all of the 90s into the early 2000s, Vogelsang was the sports guy. And he was hilarious. He was, good looking dude. He was a perfect TV news / sports guy. And did a great job, was incredibly popular. And I'm pretty sure he did win some sort of a Sexiest Man in, I see. Okay. So now this is where we're going here. Sexiest Man in Winnipeg, Steve Vogelsang actually won. Steve Vogelsang then left CTV or CKY after probably 12 years or something like that. And he went to Red River, which is the community college here. They've got a really good talent. They've got a really good creative communications program. So that's where John Liu came from. Probably, or no, I think Orleski went out west. But most of the media people that are from Winnipeg, they're through that program. And he was in charge of that. Then he left Red River and people didn't really know what he was up to. And then out of nowhere, he was charged with a string of bank robberies throughout Western Canada. And I mean, it was so stunning because he was a guy that we'd watched for so long. I knew him, was a great guy. I mean, my dealings with him were amazing. And then all of a sudden, he's arrested on bank robbery. And I guess what Mark was referring to, The Sexiest Man of Winnipeg, is a movie that they've made.
Well, I'm just looking here. It's It's on Prime, and it's like a documentary about him. And it's voiced by Will Arnett, who apparently is doing a Bison's voice because it's from Winnipeg. But yeah, it's I just saw the trailer on Prime. This was in May that they broke this thing down. And it's a documentary. It includes him.
Shout out to Dixon Sider in chat. He says, was Steve Vogelsang at CTV Winnipeg with Darren Drager? That probably would have been at the same time. Drager would have been more the reporter. Vogelsang would have been the main anchor. And that would have been a good evil Batman and Robin duo taking down banks. I can confirm Darren Drager has not been implicated in any of the bank robberies. And Dixon Sider mentions Chris Jericho, also a product of the Red River CCOM program.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what you're saying with Dixon's name there, hey, buddy? What you said? I caught myself earlier. I didn't say it, and then you banged it out twice, and I couldn't keep. I couldn't. Oh, you just read it perfectly twice. Like you're like just. Oh God!
You got me, Dixon. You got me.
Oh God! Summer shows are the best.
Actually, that's the way to do it. Some good.
I know.
Along with the sneaky name like that.
I almost said it right off the top. I was like, "Oh, look here." Then I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna read that." Dixon says, and then you just drop it twice, like it's a first and last name, and I love it.
What a weird name. What a weird name. Mr. Sider also mentions though that Steve Vogelsang was the inspiration for my guy, Chiefsaholic.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh God. Gary from Winnipeg texts in, says, hey, for seniors, Wayne and Schuster will always be my favorite comedy duo. They performed 67 times on the Ed Sullivan Show, more than any other performers. I applaud their promotion of Canadiana. Check out some of their shows on YouTube. You know what's funny, Gary? I don't know how old you are, but my grandpa, who lived to be like 103, but when I was a little kid, I remember him and my dad would watch Wayne and Schuster all the time. I think it was on Wednesday nights. It was like right before Hockey Night in Canada or right after Hockey Night in Canada. Wednesdays and Saturdays.
I certainly know. Like, I probably couldn't pick those guys out of a Police lineup, but the name Wayne Schuster absolutely was a thing, when we were kids or growing up. Just maybe didn't really catch it as much.
God. All right.
The chat is...
Oh yeah, the chat's loving it. Okay. Home run derby, Huss. Do you watch it from start to finish or what?
No, I fell asleep early and then woke up and we were seeing the finals. Pretty exciting though. That junior Kevin Arrow, whatever, had a nice little run.
Pretty good run. Yep.
The big dumper. Like what a season.
Yeah, this is insane, man. Like,
did you see the video that the Mariners put out of him as looked like maybe a 10 or 11-year-old announcing himself as the home run derby champ?
Yeah, that was cool. I did see that pop up.
Very, very cool.
But he's putting together first catcher to win it, first switch hitter to win it. And then the season that he's having is the greatest offensive season by a catcher. I mean, and I think I saw he has 8 multi-run home run games, which ties the record for most by a switch hitter in a season. And he's got it at the break. So this is an all-time year that he's putting together.
Homers. Just looking his career. He was a rookie in 2021 where he got into 47 games. But again, he had 148 plate appearances. He only batted 180. He had 2 homers. But these last 3 seasons, he really has turned into a real offensive juggernaut. Like, and he's getting more guys on base. Like, I'm just looking at his numbers here. His batting average is never going to be great. I mean, 211, 232, 220. This year he's hitting 259, which is by far a career high. His on-base percentage has been gradually going up. 284, 306, 312, now 376. The OPS is taking a huge jump this year. I mean, every year he was in the 700s. He's now over 1,000. And his OPS plus slugging is 190. I mean, he is having a monster year. I mean, if Judge wasn't doing what he was doing, we'd probably be talking about him as a strong MVP favorite. His WAR last year was really good, though. He did hit 34 bombs and 100 RBIs, and now he's already beaten that.
Like, that's a really good year, and he's already surpassed the bombs. Yeah. It's July. Like,
he's still got another 60 odd games to add to the number. Yeah. You know, I was looking at futures for the home runs, and his over under for home runs for the season is 53.5.
And he's at 38 right now.
He's at 38 right now. So we're talking about only 16 more in 64 games. That, to me, like, I was kind of thinking, I'm going to fade Cal Raleigh after the Derby for the rest of the season. But, man, we're not talking about a lot to get to that number. In 16 and over 60 games, when you have 38 and 90, should be very doable. I mean, even that number is based on a much lower rate of homers. You think he's got 16 in him before?
I think he's got. I mean, yeah, I think he's got 16 in him in 60 more games.
I think he might be able to get to 60, to be honest.
I think he will take a run at 60 with the way. I mean, the way he's playing right now, he's taking a run at 60. He would have to slow down, and yeah, he would. I mean, I'd be pretty surprised if he doesn't hit that 53.5, buddy.
There's three home run totals, like, just for the rest of the year at the break. Raleigh's is 53.5. Aaron Judge, 57.5. And Ohtani, who's just quietly going about it, being the best player in the world again this year, 51.5 for Shohei. So in all likelihood, we'll have a minimum. We'll have 3 guys with 50 bombs this year, unless one of them gets injured or just gets really cold.
I mentioned this morning 7.5. You go under for the All-Star game tonight. It's finished under 7 6 of the last 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah, and I see the under. It's juice to the under.
Yeah, it's juice to the under.
The pitching is so good.
Right? And you get an inning of them. They come in, throw some smoke, move on to another stud. You know, like, a lot of the advantages that a batter would have, you don't have in an All-Star game, right?
You can't really have, you know what? I'm seeing some markets out there. First pitch velocity. Like, you can't really have guys like how many outs they're going to get. We pretty much know they're going to pitch an inning, right? The Miz, Jacob Mizurowski, first pitch velocity, 101. This is a hilarious market. Okay, 101.0 or more plus 195, 100 to 100.9 plus 175, 99 to 99.9 is plus 320, and 98.9 or less plus 475. There's Skeens as well. What's the Skeens? Skeens is 99 or more plus 240. Of all the things, I have never, ever seen a market on the velocity of the first pitch of an all-star game. But I have to admit, this is quite intriguing for tonight. This could really make for a fun night of watching all these guys. Skeens, Skubal, Miz, Chapman, and Diaz all have some of those. What about the MVP?
I mean, I don't know. It's an all-star game. What are you supposed to do? I have no idea.
I know. Well, that's why there's no big favorite. Ohtani and Judge are the only two guys under 10-1. And then basically you're just looking at a guy that's going to play. I may have to lean on my guy, Bobby Witt Jr. This is kind of where I think you pick a team. Vladdy's 25-1.
A little sprinkle for one of our guys, right? Why not?
How are you feeling about the Jays right now that we're at the break?
You know what? I actually feel like they're not going to blow it. Now, does that mean that they're going to stay atop the AL East? I like, it's not, if that doesn't happen, I'm not going to go, oh no, because they're 2 games up on the Yankees. They're 3 games up on the Sox. Red Sox have won 10 in a row heading into the break. So we'll see what happens with them, down the stretch here. But I feel like the Blue Jays are going to be a playoff team one way or the other. And that is so far beyond the expectations I had for them this year. It's kind of like found money for me right now, buddy. Like, this is great. I did not expect to even be remotely having any of these conversations this season.
I can't remember. Did you ride with me or not on the over 78.5 wins?
Oh, I would have been over 78.5 wins. But I did, after their first game of the season, officially eliminate them from playoff contention, which is backfiring a little bit right now. But
way to have confidence.
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking right now, I think their win total right now is 89.5, if I'm not mistaken. 13 wins here. The Blue Jays, 89.5. So I put a pretty good chunk on the over at 78. I'm thinking about putting the same amount on the under 89.5, guaranteeing me a push and having essentially anywhere in between 79 and 89 wins as a double win.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
You know what I mean? Like, the 78.5 is already looking very, very good.
Yeah. I mean, they're 24 away from that.
Exactly. And they've got over 60 games left.
Yeah. So that's looking good.
But I'm not sure. Like, they've got a pretty tough schedule coming out of the break. Although, to be honest, they played a lot of these teams very well. I mean, especially the Yankees.
Yeah.
So far this year. But as they say, just 90 wins is a lot. I think they'll be comfortably in the playoffs if they win between, 83 or more like 85 and 89. So I'm thinking about that, but I'm just thankful to be on the right side of the total,
78.5.
Right
to see it at the breaks in at 89.5. Juice towards the under there.
Maybe I won't make that bet just because I am cognizant of the fact that by having this conversation on the stream, if they go into the tank coming out of here, which I don't think is going to happen, I don't want to be worrying about that 78.5 at all this year, which I don't think we will be. But the other reason why I'm actually thinking the Jays, I mean, this is the question. I mean, like -5 or -600 or something make the playoffs right now with where they are.
Yeah.
Should absolutely make the playoffs. There's still a dog to win the AL East. I think that will be tough, but you never know. The thing about the Jays, though, as a legit team that I think could get hot and compete in the playoffs, is that with the situation that they're in this year, Dusty, I really do think that we're going to see, like, they haven't won in a game in the playoffs, I think, under Atkins and Shapiro. I mean, if they've had this season, they got to get in there and give themselves the best chance to win. And I think they'll be very aggressive at the deadline. Like, they finally have given management a reason to sort of push a few more chips in.
Go get a couple bats.
Well, I mean, I think they're actually going to focus in on another pitcher first. But I mean, to be honest,
I hope it's both. Like, because we had Keegan Matheson on last week, and I asked him, I said, "What do you think pre-deadline?" And he said he thinks they're going to go after like star power bat, like a big name bat. And then I read, I think Jeff Passan's article on different targets for like contenders in the West, and he suggested they go get another arm. So, but they could be in a position where it's time to go get both. Yeah. Like go big fish hunting here, and big game hunting, not big fish hunting. I think it's big game hunting, and track down a couple of these guys and give this team a shot. Like somebody mentioned, I don't know if it was Keegan or maybe we were talking baseball a little bit later on, but like there's no Dodgers in the AL. Like the AL
Wide
is
open.
there. It's there for the taking. All right. So be that team that goes out and goes after this year. Who knows what happens?
You know, one of the other props that I do like I'm high on this Milwaukee team. And now that they've got the Miz here, who's like, it's like adding Paul Skeens to a good team.
I was going to say, can they score runs? God, Skeens should request a trade.
Hey, listen, that's already been talked about. And he's so early under team control. I mean, what that could do for the Pirates if they actually did. But how depressing is that? You get the number 1 overall pick, you bring a guy in, he plays a couple years and you trade him.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're essentially just a feeder team. But the Brewers, 56-40 at the break, they're only 1 game back of the Cubs. Listen, the Cubs have been great this year. I mean, they got a plus 119 run differential, which is the best in the NL. Funny enough, the Brewers run differential is better than the Dodgers. Like the Brewers are number 2 at plus 81. It's the one number that makes me a little nervous about the Jays. I mean,
their run differential.
They're 14 games above 500 with a 7+17 run differential. Like that doesn't entirely compute. In contrast, the Yankees are 10 games above 500 with a plus 111 run differential.
Oh, man, I didn't realize they were that high.
Jays have been winning a ton of comeback games and a ton of close games, which is good. Like, I mean, you don't get bonus points for beating a team by 10.
No, I mean, win is a win, right?
And, you know, it means you're leaning a lot more on a number of your pitchers and whatnot. By the way, Red Sox, since they traded Devers, remember everyone said, they're trading their best player, they're giving up on the season. They're on a 10-game heater coming into the
10
break.
in a row going into the break. They're only 3 back.
3 back of the and the Rays were right there with the Yankees like 10 days ago. Now they're in 4th place in the division. They go 2-8, and that's how quickly that thing can turn on you.
Can we flip over to CFL?
Yeah, let's do a quick CFL.
Okay, so we've got some line movement here even more. Montreal is now an 8.5-point favorite at home against Toronto. And Calgary, who was a 5-point dog, is now a 3.5-point dog. So that's moved a 1.5.
That was crazy.
I don't think that's injury related. This is just where this line should have been. Don't you think? Yeah.
I was surprised. I mean, if anything, the news about Dalton Schoen, I would have thought that would have moved the line the other way. I couldn't believe that I mean, with what Calgary had done the last couple of weeks, the idea of them being a 5-point underdog to anyone seemed a little nuts. So yeah, 3. I mean, I'm going to probably be on the Bombers this week just based on history, the way they bounced back after losses, their incredible record after the bye. But I would have loved it if it was inside a field goal. Like, I think this is going to be a really tight game. I was talking to this with a hammer. By the way, new CFL 110 coming up right after WST today. For those of you who enjoy the program, that'll be up on the podcast feeds as well. I was saying that, I mean, for the Bombers to win this game, the defense is going to have to step up in a big way. And I really think that without Dalton Schoen and where Zach is at right now, I think they are going to, this to me feels like a big Brady Oliveira game. Like the Bombers playing most of the game like they do a fourth quarter.
Yeah, those big long drives.
Where there's long drives, keeping the football, field position, all of that. And because of that, I kind of feel it's first team to sort of 24-25 wins the game. So I actually really do like the under 50 in that Bomber Calgary game. I think this will be much more of a defensive battle than maybe some of the other games that we've seen. But the 3.5, like normally that's, you don't even think about that with the Bombers at home. Calgary's giving everybody a lot of reason to think right now, Dusty, with the way they played so far this season, especially in these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they've been excellent. I mean, I feel like I don't know if I've said this about anybody over the last 5 years, but like I feel like I'm doubting the Calgary Stampeders with them going into Winnipeg to play the Bombers. You know, like I feel like I'm disrespecting them. But I wouldn't have said that about any other team, even when BC was good and went in and, you know, but I feel like I might be selling them a little bit short, which is crazy, but they just made it look easy against Winnipeg and Saskatchewan, who were both winless or hadn't lost at the time.
Yeah.
Like, and easy. Like, Vernon Adams absolutely destroyed the Riders. And Winnipeg had a hard time getting anything going offensively. So I don't want to be disrespectful, but I mean, it's the Bombers at home coming off a bye week. I mean, unless the script has flipped somehow in the last 5 years to now, that's usually a Bombers victory. So if Calgary can go in there and, you know, come away with a win, one thing, but if Calgary can come in there and do to the Bombers what they've done the last 2 weeks to Winnipeg and Sask, then, I mean, clear-cut number one on the power rankings. I mean, it'd have to be the case.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a huge opportunity for both teams. And listen, if Calgary wins this game, they've won the season series against the Bombers as well. They do have another game in a few weeks that if the Bombers win, will end up being the rubber match in case that they're tied. But a really, really intriguing game. And I'm really disappointed you're not going to be here for that one. In that it'll be an emotional night at Princess Auto Stadium with the return of Milt.
Yeah, he'll be there. The panel will be live.
I mean, Milt is like, he is a favorite son of Winnipeg. And I mean, he even refers to it as his second home. And for Milt to return to the panel and return to Winnipeg after the passing of his son, Chase, who we really saw, Dusty, kind of grow up right in front of our eyes. I mean, Milt was the guy that often had Chase running around the room, running around the field after the game. Reminds me a lot of Willie Jefferson, in fact, that, you know, really sort of made a home here in Winnipeg, was a cornerstone of the team, had a really young family, and we've seen Willie's little girls kind of get bigger year after year. They always seem to be around on the scene with Holly. Yep. And that was certainly the case with Chase, and that's why that news just hit everybody so hard. I mean, regardless, if you have no connection to a person, I mean, losing a talented young man at such a young age is so tragic. But it kind of felt like a loss of Winnipeg's family as well. So that's going to feel like a 32,000 person group hug, I think, for Milt when he and the panel show up on Friday night.
Yeah, extremely emotional. And they've been, you know, doing special moments around the league from week one on, but in Winnipeg, in that spot, in the first week that he's back, it should be that'll be an extremely emotional evening for sure. Huss, I want to. Yeah. They have no movement in the other two, hey? I don't think.
No, but I mean, they're both really, really short lines.
Yeah, they're tight.
You can almost look at these as pick'ems. I know you said you like BC, eh?
I do like BC. I mean, BC's 3-3, but for two of the games they didn't have Nathan Rourke. If they had Nathan Rourke, they might be 4-2 or 5-1. Honestly, like Rourke is now. I mean, he has beaten Edmonton twice.
And I mean, let's think about that other game. I still have no idea how they won that game against Montreal.
They squeaked it out. They needed it too.
Absurd win.
But I think Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just a gut feeling, but I think the BC Lions are going to get that. I think they're going to get that one done at home. I think Rourke.
Well, you convinced me. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, this is such a toss up, and I'm gonna, I think, go with Rourke. And, the BC has to be a pretty desperate team because, again, they haven't beaten anybody good yet this year. Well, I mean, they beat Montreal, who is good.
They beat Montreal.
Our win. They've got 2 wins against the Elks. But, I mean, if you want to be in the mix, you got to find a way to win against a Calgary, a Saskatchewan, or Winnipeg. Well, Winnipeg's not happening. They're 0-2 against them. So this is a huge game. And I think the way I see this playing out is that BC is a strong fourth and gets a crossover. Like, I think, we talked about that a little bit
yesterday. Yeah, we hit it yesterday, but
it's like, I think that's probably the most likely run. Again, they'll have to get theirs against some of those East teams. But home field, desperate team, lots to play for right now. I'll give the nod. Although I'm not sure we're going to be seeing 30 carries from James.
We definitely will be seeing that, but I will say the Riders' offensive line little bit banged up, and I think that factored into last week's game.
They did nothing on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Nathan Rourke has all of his weapons. Trevor Harris still doesn't have Emelis, still doesn't have Schaefer Baker. Now, Rubistelli had a huge game last game, but Rubistelli's going to be going up against Gary Peters and Robert Carter Jr., who are 2 pretty outstanding corners. So I don't know. From the moment I saw that matchup, I was like, I think I like the Lions this week, even though, they're below the Riders in the standings. And then I thought the Ticats would have beaten the Red Blacks easier last week. So I don't know what the vibe is in that game. We had AJ Jakubik on our show yesterday morning, and obviously Ottawa has to be desperate. They only have 1 win. But Toronto's right there sitting with just 1 win in the East as well. So, I mean, huge game for the Red Blacks to start salvaging their season. The over last week, the total in that week game last week was at 53.5. It didn't even come close. It's at 54.5 right now. So I don't know if you want to take a shot at the over there and a bounce back game offensively for both of those teams. But I think you put a gun to my head. I think I'd probably roll with Bo and Kenny and the Ticats again. But that's a very important game for the Red Blacks.
You know what? I think I'm going Ottawa in this one. And I have the same feeling for Ottawa this week as I did for the Elks in week 4 hosting Ottawa. This is their season. Their season is on the line. If they lose this game and go to 1-6 with Toronto getting Chad Kelly back, and Hamilton will be at 4 wins, and either Toronto or Montreal getting another win. We know Montreal's going to be there in the playoffs. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's probably over for Ottawa this year, this early in the season, barring some sort of a miracle rally and turnaround. And listen, they played the Ticats tough. They covered the spread. That was the one I got right last week. I was 1-2. I had Ottawa. This kind of feels like they're going to be at home. You just played this team. It's tough to beat a team twice. They were right there. They got to have this one. I'm going to take Ottawa, but on a neutral field, playoff game, whatever, I'll take Hamilton. To me, this is a spot game, and Ottawa's got to raise their level. They got to get the job done. And like the Elks did against Ottawa a few weeks ago, I'm confident that can happen.
Huss, I won't be around the rest of the week. You'll have a Wannick with you. Open championship thoughts. I want to ask you this. Scotty or Rory, if you had to take one of the top 2?
Oh, great question. Did you hear Scheffler's press conference today?
I've got it liked on Twitter so I can go back and watch it later because I heard good things about it.
He had one of the most thoughtful and introspective answers I've ever heard from an athlete ever about what drives him and winning and celebrating and then moving on to the next one and what's important to him. Listen, if you haven't heard it, highly recommended. Will be anywhere. You just look Scheffler up right now. Scotty or Rory? I think I say Scotty in this one. And I know Rory had a good round last week at the Scottish Open. To me, McIlroy just seems a little bit more erratic. And let's face it, what's hurt Scheffler in the past when he hasn't been winning? It's still not his ball striking is too good. It's his putting. And to me, the putting at the Open Championship, it's so different from the PGA Tour, but in a lot of ways, it's a bit of an equalizer. Greens are a bit shaggier. I mean, the speeds aren't what they were before. I mean, there really is an element of feel. That's part of the reason why you see guys putting from 70 yards away. They have a pretty good idea about where and how much it'll go. Like the guy grew up in Texas. I mean, there's no worried about playing in wind or anything like. So yeah, I mean, to me, I kind of think I'd take a slight nod on Scotty over Rory. What are you seeing the odds are?
I am looking at just a sec. Hang on, I had it earlier this morning. Give me one sec. I am looking at. It's a little bit closer than I thought it was going to be. I think it might have moved since this morning. I see Scotty at 425 and Rory at 595.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay. And then what? Ron DeChambeau,
Xander, Tommy, Hatton, Ludwig, Vic Hovland, Shane Lowry. And that'll probably get you down to Bobby Mack and Morikawa, and then there's a bump down to Fitz, Sepp, JT, Henley, and those guys.
Yeah, what's Fitz at?
38.
Interesting.
I'm on Sepp. He's moved a little bit since this morning when I was putting these together. So I like. Look, he was T2 in 23 at the Open. I mean,
oh yeah.
And he's having obviously a phenomenal season. 6 top 10s, 12 top 15s, 3rd on tour in all round scoring, 4th in adjusted scoring. It was solo 7 in Scotland as well. I mean, he's just had a massive breakout year. I locked him in at 40 earlier today. I'm going back to Shane Lowry again. I'll just spit these out because I won't be here tomorrow. But going back to Shane Lowry again, he won on this track. It was 6 years ago, but I'd argue he's a better golfer now than he was then. So I like Shane Lowry. And then you know what? I'm too sure. I got to play a little bit of wild card here, but I'm going to roll with Bryson. 2 top 5s in majors already this year. I mean, he's been all around it. The mad scientist attacking this course. We'll see if it's, if there's anything crazy that happens with him. And you're almost at 20-1 on Bryson. So I'm gonna get on Bryson as well. And then Lowry and Straka, who I've been kind of rolling with most of the season. So.
I always like for the Open, and maybe this goes back to my love of golf betting goes back over 10 years. I put $10 on Zach Johnson to win the British Open when he won it at 125-1.
So that's where it comes from, eh?
No idea why I was thinking Zach Johnson. I mean, I was very raw in the game. But anyways, it hit. And, we've often seen some American players that no one really gives a chance early on, going into the tournament as being right there at the end. So let me just look at Open Championship winners. Let's go to our recent wins here. Do we have a list? Yeah, here we are. Oh yeah, like Brian Harman, perfect example.
Yes,
2 years
Harman.
ago. Like Harman, he had a good year. Hits it pretty well. And
Harman pops up once in a while, right? But come on, like major.
Yeah, Morikawa winning in 2021 was a shock. He had done a bunch of other things, but I don't believe he'd ever played the Open before and ended up winning in his first try. Couple other guys that, Lowry when he won, I think was still not one of the favorites, like a much longer shot. Molinari, although Molinari in 2018 was really, really good. He was, pushing into that top 10 in the world. And then Spieth. Then, of course, 2016 was Stenson. That was the insane battle with Phil. And Phil would have won literally any other year if it wasn't for Stenson, who had that maniac one. And yeah, there it was, 2015, Zach Johnson in a playoff over Usti and Mark Leishman. And then you got Rory, Phil, Ernie Els, Darren Clark. So I am going to try and look at, a couple of Ryan Fox. I saw 100-1 on him. Like, he's been really good this year. He's a New Zealand guy. So, I mean, he's played, over in Europe. He's done quite a bit. Man, to see Cam Smith where he's at right now. Cam Smith 2 years ago was, I think, like 15-1 for this event.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like 80 or 90.
Yeah, completely fallen off, eh?
But I mean, when I think about a guy like Harmon winning this tournament, like, it makes me think about a great ball striker like Corey Connors. That I think the putting issues aren't as big in the British Open than they are maybe over in North America. You got a group in the 60s at Spieth, Justin Rose. Rose would be a really cool guy to win after how close he came at the Masters. And then there's that Gotterup who was just on absolute fire and ended up winning the Scottish Open. He's a guy. I've always thought Justin Thomas was going to win the Open at one point. JT might be a sneaky pick this week. I'm going to have to lock in over the course of tonight. We got some poker to play and some pods and research to catch up on before making the official picks. I do like Sepp, though. I mean, Sepp is a guy that I think he's definitely worth it, the number, before it drops too much to get on.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, Matty Fitz, former major winner, guy that knows this area very well. He was right there in the mix, just sort of out of that winners group on Sunday in the Scottish Open. And to me, he's been due all year to sort of step up and make something happen. But yeah, we'll dive into that. We'll have some more picks tomorrow in the lock shop for the British Open before things get going in on Thursday.
What's coming up in WST, buddy?
Well, we'll try and find something to talk about. You know what the middle of July is like in sports radio. No, Josh Goldberg's going to join us. We're going to do a big segment on the Blue Jays at the break, Major League Baseball. Ken Wiebe, talk about some of the big local stories, hockey off season as well. And Brian Munz is going to join us from the AM. Manitoba Amateurs going on right now. So we'll do that. And then obviously we'll have the latest from Bomber practice. And then we'll get out right around 3 o'clock our time, 2 o'clock Edmonton time for the latest edition of CFL 110, which is good to go and ready to debut as soon as we're finished the show today.
Excellent, buddy. You enjoy the rest of the week and have fun at the emotional night on Friday. It's going to be a big one at Princess Auto Stadium, and I will catch up with you on Monday.
We'll be watching for you Thursday night in that Big East battle between the Alouettes and Argos. Thanks, buddy.
Looking forward to it. That is Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk. That'll be coming up at the top of the hour over on the WST channel. We've got two guys and a goalie locked and loaded with myself and Gager coming up here as well. I did throw my 3 plays up together. A little lock shop partner parlay for today on the golf. Bryson, Lowry, and Straka. All to finish top 20 at the Open, plus 1350. If you want to grab that one right now, I always suggest, you don't want to go heavy on these ones. Unless you really, really, really love it. But a little sprinkle on those 3 guys. Lowry has won at this event before. Straka coming in hot after last week, finished second in the event last year, has been great all season. And then Bryson has 2 top 5 so far in the majors this year. So, I'll probably be on that for a little bit more than a sprinkle. But hey, maybe you want to use a free bet on that. EST Sports, deposit 20, get a $50 free bet. And if you want, you can use it on the lock shop part. Actually, what would that, let me just see what that would pay out here. Let me see the number on this. Just for the free bet. We'd have to see. We've hit a few of these top 20s. But yeah, you bet 50, you'd win $725. But use your game sense when you're playing at Play Alberta. 2 guys and the goalies on the way next, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Thank you very much for joining us today. Best of luck tonight if you're betting on the All-Star game. And I will talk to you on Monday. The boys will talk to you tomorrow.